Ladies and gentlemen, we live historic moments, still can't believe it. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make kombucha. Kombucha is a Chinese tea. It dates about 2,000 years. It's good for digestion, it's good for the immune system, it gives you energy. It's basically a probiotic. It's been, like I said, the Chinese have been drinking it for thousands of years. It tastes like vinegar, a little bit like vinegar, like a little effervescent, not as strong as vinegar, but it does taste a little bit like vinegar. It reminds me a lot of the organic apple cider vinegar, I'm sorry. And I'm going to show you a little bit of how it's made. First of all, what you need to do is get the ingredients for it. This is black tea. You can get this anywhere. We got this at Walmart, I think. Maji got all this for the kombucha. What you need to do is you take 8 tea bags of black tea, 8 tea bags per gallon. Okay, so 8 tea bags per gallon. We're going to be showing you how to brew those later in a later video. These are the jars that you need. They are cookie jars, 1 gallon each. 1 gallon each is the capacity, and you can start with one. If you only have one SCOBY, I'm going to show you what the SCOBY is. You can start with one. We already have 4, so Maji took 2 home, and we're gonna be starting to ferment or setting it up for the fermentation process for the 2 that we have here. The lids for the cookie jars you don't really need. I'm gonna show you what to put on the top as we close it. These are the SCOBYs right here. This is what I'm going to be putting inside the jars, and it looks like pancakes, but it's actually live bacteria. It smells like vinegar. Now, it's very important that this doesn't get contaminated, that it's free of any bugs or flies that are flying around. So that's why we keep it covered for now until we put them in the jars. Now, we've already brewed the black tea. It's 1 gallon, 8 tea bags. It's already brewed, and it's already at room temperature right now. It's been sitting here since earlier this evening. It's been sitting here for about 5 hours. So now it's pretty much, it's got a little bit of warmth, but it's pretty much room temperature right now. So that's what you need. There's even though these pots are different sizes, there's only 1 gallon in each. 1 gallon's worth of black tea in each of these. And I'm going to show you what to do with them. Very important that you wash your hands thoroughly. There can't be any contamination to the SCOBY. It cannot be contaminated in any way, so you have to be sure that you wash your hands thoroughly. Once your hands are washed, what you need to do is you need to first of all, fill the gallon, the glass container, fill it up with the black tea. So let's do that right now. Like I said, this is at room temperature already. We brewed it for about a half hour, boiling water, and then we left it to cool. Definitely have to wait for it to be totally cool. All right. Now, there's, like I said, 1 gallon of water, 8 bags of black tea, and a cup of sugar. It doesn't matter if it's black sugar or if it's white sugar, but 1 cup of sugar. And the reason for the sugar is the SCOBY, which is this live bacteria right here, feeds off of the sugar. So when the 15 days are up, there will be no sugar taste, because basically the SCOBY would have eaten all the sugar. Basically, that's what it feeds on. So, but the sugar is very important. Okay, so once I put the SCOBY in the jar with the tea, I cover it with a cloth, a cotton cloth. The reason why I do that is because the SCOBY, the actual live bacteria, cannot be suffocated. It needs to breathe. Okay, so I secure the cloth with a rubber band. You can see. Secure the cloth with a rubber band, making sure that nothing gets in it to contaminate it, and that it keeps breathing. It gives the bacteria a chance to breathe, and within 15 days it'll multiply. It'll actually, the one SCOBY will turn into 2, which is pretty neat. Then what we've been doing, we've been keeping it up on top of the refrigerator. Let's see here, keeping it on top of the refrigerator, as you can see. And we can leave it there for 15 days. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with the second SCOBY that we have. Here's the black tea. All right. Pour that in there. Remember, it's 8 tea bags, 8 bags of black tea brewed for about a half hour. Okay, brewed for about a half hour. Now we take the SCOBY. It's kind of like a mushroom. Just try not to break it. Just put it in there, and you can see. Put the cloth over it to cover it, and the rubber band around it. Okay, and then after that, we take it, and we put it on top of the fridge like the other one. Okay, now remember, it also has 1 cup of sugar. Very important, the sugar. The 8 bags of black tea, 1 gallon of water, and the cup of sugar, because the sugar is what's going to be feeding the actual SCOBY. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now all we have to do is wait a period of 15 days. In 15 days, we will check the SCOBY. We'll actually take it out of the jar, and in each one of these jars, there should be 2. Right now, there's 1 in each jar, and at the end of the 15 days, it should have multiplied and divided into 2. So then we'll have 4. We have 4 now. It's just that Maggie took the other 2 home, and she's doing this same thing at her place. And so basically we'll have 8, because we'll have 4 here, and then she'll have 4. So and then we just begin the cycle all over again. You should drink about 4 ounces of the tea. We use this as a guide. It's basic. It's not full. You don't fill it up to the top. It's just to the rim, maybe a ½ inch from the rim, and that's what you drink like once a day. Or if you need it for something specific, then you should drink 2 or drink it twice a day. But anyway, that's how we make kombucha. in a later video, 15 days from now, at around the 20th or the 21st of August, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I take that out, and I'm gonna show you how it's divided into two SCOBYs, which is pretty neat because it's an actual, it's like a live creature because it's bacteria, live bacteria, probiotics, all right? So I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in 15 days. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am back. It's been 15 days since I left the kombucha, which is right up here. I am going to be taking these babies out today. I'll be showing you that later. But right now I'm getting ready for the next batch. So I am going to be boiling 1 gallon of water in each of these, if you notice. And each gallon of water will have 8 tea bags. I'll boil them for leave them on for about 30 minutes in each one, and then I will let them cool to room temperature so I can transfer them to the cookie jars. And then after that, I'm gonna be boiling 2 more because I'm gonna be making 4 gallons today. In these cookie jars right here, I had 1 in each, 1 SCOBY, one of the fermenting bacteria, the SCOBY. I had 1 in each, but when I opened them today, I should have 2 in each. So I should have 4 right now. So after I empty the kombucha into the gallons for drinking, I should have 4 SCOBYs, 2 in each. And that's why I'm gonna be boiling 2 gallons of water now, and afterwards I'm gonna be boiling 2 more later on today. Now what I do is I go ahead and tie all 8 bags like this, just to make it easier for me to fish them out afterwards. And I just put them in and leave them for about 20 minutes. I already turned off the stove. The stove's already been turned off. The water is boiling, so about 20 minutes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am about to unveil the 2 SCOBYs that I had, taking them out of the refrigerator, excuse me. Taking them out of the refrigerator. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in here. This is a little bit of black tea because they always need to be in the black tea. Okay. My hands are thoroughly washed. There should be 2 in here now, instead of just the 1 that I started with. And I already see you have to be sure that your hands are washed to avoid contamination. And there are, in fact, 2 SCOBYs. Yay! Okay, so I take this. Okay, 1 more. Okay, this is the second one, second SCOBY. I haven't touched this for 15 days. I can already feel that there's 2 in here. There we go. Now there's 2 in there. Okay, so I am going to take a little bit of the kombucha, put them on here. While I get the jars ready for it, and I'm going to cover it to avoid any contamination. One thing I didn't do with the other one is I poured it in the jar for drinking. I didn't shake it, so I'm gonna go ahead and stir it a little bit. These are half-gallon jars. Okay, so 2 1-gallon jars of kombucha go into 3 half-gallon jars. So 2 gallons of kombucha are good to make 1.5 gallons. The other half-gallon, the actual SCOBY ate it up and used it to actually convert or to split actually into the second SCOBY that we have here. So I have 2 here and I have 2 here. Okay, now I'm ready to go ahead and put the SCOBYs in here. These 2, I'm going to put 1 in each cookie jar. Okay, this is how beautiful this is. It's a living organism. This is based on true events. There you go. And then the second one. This one. It's gonna float. Okay. Already began the next batch. Black tea. Because I'm making 4 jars of kombucha, and then I cover it with a rag. The reason why we're covering it with a rag is because we need to let it breathe. This is a living organism that needs oxygen, but it doesn't need contamination. So the rag lets some of the air in the atmosphere flow through. Okay, so we cover it with a rag and put a rubber band around it, like so. All right, and then we take this and put it on top of the refrigerator like we have before. Okay, right there. Take the other one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last part for the last 2 SCOBYs that I'm gonna do. The tea is already at room temperature, the black tea. 8 tea bags. It's based on true events. There we go. That's one. This is the SCOBY. It's been waiting here patiently. We have our piece of cloth and the rubber band. All right, we're gonna put that up on top of the refrigerator in a minute. Let me finish with these. Make sure that all the sugar is mixed in. Okay. And the last of the 2 SCOBYs. This was the one at the bottom. It doesn't matter, really. So, okay, then piece of fabric, rubber band, okay. And then I already have the room. Open the refrigerator. Okay. So, hold on. Sorry. Here they are. Today's August 21st, 2017. Today is Monday. Today was the day of the eclipse. And that's it for now. That's how you make kombucha. Between this section of the video and the one before this one, you should have a pretty good idea on how to make it yourself. I enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, I don't know a lot, but I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have, and about the process and everything. So I'm hoping that whoever is interested in making their own kombucha has learned something from this, and maybe can make their own. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to continue the process. I'm gonna pour the black tea. It's pretty much at room temperature right now. Look at the glass containers. 1 gallon each.